Hi rabbits, Research Turtle here. Today we are dismantling a dangerous geographic illusion. We often treat sea level rise as a battle for the beach, but the data tells a different story. The sea has no borders, and today we're going to find out why the inland is the new frontline. Look at this map. We assume that if we live far from the coast, in the safe zone, we are immune. This is the fantasy of distance, but modern earth science and economics prove that the crisis ignores physical borders. It infiltrates through three invisible fronts: hydraulic connectivity, economic interdependence, and social mobility. The ocean doesn't need to flow over the land to destroy it. It exerts pressure through the aquifer below us, the atmosphere above us, and the economy around us. Let's break down the physics first. This is the Ghyben-Herzberg principle, or what I call the hydraulic lever. Because fresh water floats on salt water, a mere 1 unit rise in sea level at the coast exerts 40 units of upward pressure on the groundwater inland. It's a multiplier effect that most people ignore. So what happens when that pressure builds? We get the flood from below. Before waves ever breach the surface, rising water tables rot infrastructure from the inside out. This leads to foundation inundation and, perhaps grossest of all, widespread septic system failure. It's not just groundwater. Check out the saltwater wedge. Dense saltwater creeps along riverbeds, bypassing our surface defenses. In the Mississippi River, this wedge has threatened water supplies up to 160 kilometers upstream. In the Mekong Delta, it has paralyzed agriculture. Now, let's look at the atmosphere. There's an old rule that land kills storms. The new reality? Wet land feeds them. This is the brown ocean effect. Saturated inland soil mimics the ocean, providing energy to storms so they re-intensify inland, just like we saw in the 2016 Louisiana flood. This leads to a traffic jam of water. When sea levels rise, rivers can't drain. The water backs up hundreds of kilometers. Combine high rainfall, blocked drainage, and high groundwater, and you have nowhere for the water to go. But maybe you don't care about water. You definitely care about your wallet. This is the supply chain shock. Coastal refineries are choke points. When they flood, the inland pays the premium. After Hurricane Katrina, gas prices in the so-called safe Midwest jumped 46 cents in a single week. It gets worse with logistics. Inland waterways are trade arteries. If a barge stops, you have to use trucks. But remember this ratio: 1 barge carries the load of 70 trucks. Trucking is 16 times more expensive. That means spikes in the price of bread, cereal, and raw materials for everyone. And for our food supply, we are seeing ghost forests and salty soil. Salt accumulation prevents crops from drinking water. In places like Bangladesh, this has already caused a 20% revenue drop for farmers. Food security is not a coastal issue. It is a global inflation issue. So people move. They flee to receiver cities like Duluth, Buffalo, or Cincinnati. But is this a haven or a trap? High elevation is becoming a luxury asset, leading to climate gentrification. We're seeing this in places like Little Haiti in Miami, causing displacement and housing shortages in the safety zones. Finally, the health crisis moves inland. Warmer, wetter inland climates expand mosquito ranges. Plus, rising water mobilizes old industrial toxins and causes septic failures. It's a perfect storm for a public health crisis. We need to look at the unseen ledger. We focus on visible coastal costs like seawalls and insurance, but the hidden inland liabilities, corroded infrastructure, saline aquifers, and supply chain inflation are becoming the heavier burden. So here is the takeaway. You may be far from the coast, but you are not far from the ocean. We need to shift our thinking from isolation to integration. That's it for today. Turtle out.